Happy Little Mermaid Lost Money Day. I am your host, Jeremy, and I am joined by Ryan, the king of Little Mermaid Lost Money videos. Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Little Mermaid, not doing so hot. And somehow, across the Spider-Verse is out. One did way better its opening weekend in the box office than Little Mermaid did. But also somehow it's avoided all the racists.
I
I don't know
know.
how Into the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales, who I don't know if you knew this, Jeremy, but he's black. Somehow the racist didn't come out and review bomb. I don't know what happened. I'm not sure why that's the case. They must not have got the memo. Steve Bannon didn't put the word out to everybody. You're supposed to review bomb Across the Spider-Verse because it has a black person in it. But the media is trying to figure out what to do next with this whole Little Mermaid saga.
Hang on. Miles Morales is black,
Yes.
and we didn't get our tiki torches, and we didn't go protest and then down. What is going on with Steve these days? Is Steve falling off? Holy shit.
Maybe.
Wow. That's
He needs
amazing.
another shirt. He needs another shirt, Steve Bannon.
Wow. I really did not expect that. But yes, yeah, Into the Spider-Verse is doing really well. And generally speaking, everyone that's seen it outside of, I guess, Mike and Josiah like it. So
yeah, I tried to see it. I was not able to make through, fell asleep. Not because of the movie, just because I've been really fucking tired. But so I don't really have an opinion on it. But the first one, I didn't hate the first one. I just thought it got really overhyped, and I was just kind of like meh on it. It really wasn't. I didn't like the animation style. I thought there was some of the stuff, some of the different like Spider-Man that came in were just like a little just roll my eyes at. wasn't digging it, but a lot of people obviously liked it, and it seems like this one's being well received. And at the box office, it did really, really well. It had a better opening weekend than Guardians of the Galaxy,
which is wild.
Yeah,
which says again more of an indictment of the MCU. And I think I am gonna go try to see Into the Spider-Verse this week. I really enjoyed the first one. I really liked the first one. I only saw it one time, but I really enjoyed it from what I remember of it. And so yeah, I'm gonna go try to see that one this week if possible. And I'm happy it's doing well. Spider-Man continues to be a dominant force at the box office. He's massive. But with that said, I mean the first Into the Spider-Verse did fine. It didn't do anything wonderful at the box office. This one is just doing insane numbers. So that's a testament to how well received the first one was. And then the word of mouth for this one is doing really well too. So it's a win-win across the board.
Yeah. And again, I can't, like, obviously, we saw there's woke propaganda in some of those trailers. We saw the BLM stuff. We saw the Protect Trans Kids. I can't tell you how that affected the movie or how that was in the movie because I simply don't know. I'm not sure about any of that.
Yep. So hello everyone. Welcome in. The 199 is in the house. Appreciate all of you guys being here. And tonight for Cobra Cast, I'm bringing back, due to popular demand, the 199 Snake Pit Battalion shirts will return for 1 week on 221B. So I will give you guys the links and everything tonight on Cobra Cast. A lot of people are getting their shirts, posting their shirts, and then other people are like, man, I missed out. I said, let me see if we can get those back available. So we're going to have another 1 week run of those shirts, and then they'll be gone. Okay. So that was popular demand. I appreciate you guys being so vocal about that. And there's green-haired anti-liberal says, got mine this weekend. Yeah. A lot of people were digging that. So, and then obviously the Little Mermaid stuff is worth discussing. Ryan, I made a video. I've made a couple of videos for Geeks and Gamers. Do you know what happened when I made videos? Something crazy happened on this channel. Something insane.
Guess. You gained subs.
We gained subs, Ryan. I made 3 videos and we've gained subs. It's an amazing. I would have never known this is how YouTube worked if you wouldn't have told me. So thank you, Ryan. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. It took me years to develop this strategy to understand that you have to make content for people to find you. Not just fucking live stream 6 times a day.
Oh man, hey, it feels good to get back on the grind on the videos, and so expect those. I typically do. I like doing the late night uploads. They tend to perform pretty well overnight, so be on the lookout for those. Not only here on Geeks and Gamers from me, but also on my D-Day Cover channel. I need to get back on the grind over there. So, but yeah, good stuff indeed. And guess what, chat? Thanks to Ben Giles for sending a super chat that we missed.
Yeah,
on Friday. Ben Giles, shout out to Ben Giles, over on Rumble, sent a $499 Rumble rant
that we missed.
Requesting that Ryan be on Mario Kart again. So guess what's happening tonight for Monday Night Mario Kart? The man, the myth, the legend returns. All because of Ben Giles.
Yeah, right? Shout out Ben. As soon as I ended the stream, I saw that. Basically, you guys know Rumble chat's a little kind of funky, so it kind of froze on me. But when I was refreshing to make sure the stream was actually ended over there, it pops up and it says, "Oh wow, we missed a $500 fucking super chat, $500 Rumble rant from Ben Giles." And I'll read it right here. YouTube doesn't let me spend more than $500 a day, but I need to see frustrated Ryan on Mario Kart. Someone tag team with me and complete the 500 with a 199. Huzzah. So, Ben, the fact that he put that out there is crazy. And I'm really sorry we missed it. That's fucking stupid, but what it is.
You know what's crazy is and I feel bad. Like it was I forget the name of the first person that ever sent $500 super chat on Geeks Gamers. It was that crazy stream we had here. Remember that crazy stream we had that just went off the rails with all the gifted memberships? That was the first ever $500 super chat I'd ever received on YouTube. So then that day we got one on Rumble, and then that night I got a $500 super chat on D-Day Cobra on Cobra Cast that night. It was wild. So anyway, shout out to all of you. But we got things to talk about today. We got over 1,300 people here rocking and rolling. So Ryan, what is our first topic of the day?
I mean, we may as well just talk about about Little Mermaid. We might as well talk about how it did its second weekend. I think we can do that.
The media spin is already happening on this movie. There's no doubt about that. Now, and again, if you want to look at the domestic side, it's doing okay. It's doing better than I think we expected. It's not like setting any records or anything like that. But internationally, this movie is failing pretty badly right now, Ryan.
Yeah, internationally, and it's not like domestically it's in great shape either. And that's really the issue. From opening weekend, we could tell that The Little Mermaid was not exactly what so many people in the mainstream media pretended like it was going to be. It had a less than projected domestic opening 3-day and Memorial Day weekend, but internationally, it was rough. And that led to people in the mainstream media actually acknowledging that, you know what? This might have a hard time breaking even with the legs that it has or doesn't have, and the international numbers performing so badly. Little Mermaid could actually lose money for Disney. Now, we've been saying it for a while. The mainstream media finally caught up to that during this week because they had no choice other than acknowledge the reality. But what was it going to do second weekend? How was it going to hold? Was it going to have good legs? Was it going to do better internationally? Well, now we have an answer to that. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse did incredibly well at the box office, but buried in these headlines is how The Little Mermaid did. And here's our friend Eric Weber. Hashtag The Little Mermaid sinks 58% in its second weekend with $40 million, adds another $40 million overseas for $326 million worldwide cum. This film will end nowhere near where many expected it. Some had it at $1 billion. We'll be lucky to get to $500 million at this point. Major disappointment for Disney. Now, I think it will get to 500 million. I don't know if it'll get to 600. That's kind of where my guess is at this point in time. But certainly, when you look at the drop-off it had, it needed to do really well domestically because internationally it's been performing so poorly. You can see a 58% drop. Now, that doesn't sound like crazy. That doesn't sound wild because we're used to a lot of these superhero movies that almost always have a 60% plus drop off at this point in time. But when you do compare it to something like Aladdin, and basically what it needed to do, this movie needed to do Aladdin domestic numbers and at least half of Aladdin international numbers to think about breaking even. Doesn't look like it's going to do that.
Nope.
That had a 53% drop, but you can see its second weekend was more than Little Mermaids, and it's just going to continue falling behind and behind and behind as we continue on based off its tracking. But those international numbers are really where the key is, because even though they're close domestically, look at this, Jeremy. I pulled up for you what we had the same exact time 4 fucking years ago. Second weekend, Aladdin. Globally, the Genie is at $446 million. So that's where this thing was. That's where Aladdin was after 2 weeks, compared, 10 days, I guess, compared to the Little Mermaid, which is sitting at 326. Over $100 million difference. That gap's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow. Yep. And really, with all the different competition, it doesn't look like this movie is going to break even at this point. $250 million production budget, $140 million marketing budget, needs around $750 million at least to break even. And that would be a dream for them at this point.
Yeah, you get exactly what you deserve with this movie. And I do think that as much as the media loves to label America the most racist country on the planet, pretty interesting that it's the entire world outside of America that's widely rejecting this movie. So now it must mean that everybody else is the racist now. Everybody else is the racist. Or maybe just generally speaking, audiences are tired of identity politics and you race swapping and pushing agendas and things like that, because that's what this movie was. Again, you look at the backlash that this film got before it ever released. 3.5 million downvotes. 3.5 million downvotes, which is, again, more than Rings of Power, right, Ryan? Like, we had never seen downvotes we had never seen downvotes like this. And it came in a time when downvotes were not even publicly available to people without the extension. So people were just downvoting it just out of the fact that they were disgusted with it. And this is why we continue to call all of this out, because we are seeing it. And the tide has turned, as I've said recently. You go back to the Black Aragorn, situation where 3, 4, 5 years ago, if that would have happened and people would have called it out, you would have been facing a lot of heat. Now, almost everybody just universally agrees that this is trash. We're tired of this. We're tired of you using people's race and their gender and their sexual orientation. And Little Mermaid, if you look at the live action Disney movies outside of Mulan, which happened during COVID, but if you look at Lion King, you look at Aladdin, what's the other one? Beauty and the Beast. Is there another one after that that's happened recently that hit $1 billion? I know those 3 hit $1 billion. Was there another one? I can't remember that it did very well either way. This movie is falling behind massively, and there's no excuse for that other than the fact that the fans were right once again, as the fans are always right. And you can't argue that point, Disney. You can't do it.
Someone else who's right, who I believe should be owed an apology, is this man right here, Mina Masood. Aladdin star leaves Twitter after sharing controversial Little Mermaid post. Remember when these fucking lunatics harassed this dude off Twitter because he dared say that I don't think it's going to make $1 billion? This is the quote. Our film was unique in that audiences went to watch it multiple times. The Aladdin star. It's the only way we reached the $1 billion mark with our opening. My guess is Little Mermaid doesn't cross the $1 billion mark, but will undoubtedly get a sequel. So Mina Masood, we'll see if anyone reaches out to say, oh, sorry, Mina, you were correct. And we fucking attacked you as a racist.
Yeah, this is the deranged leftist, man. Like, this guy 100% proven right, and yet all these people had to lose their minds over it. What a bunch of freaks, man. What a bunch of freaks. So yes, Mina was right. Hashtag Mina was right. Damn right he was.
Mina. I don't know what else he's doing. I don't know anything else that guy's been in other than he's Aladdin.
Yeah. Don't let the social justice freaks intimidate you. They mean nothing. They mean nothing.
All right, let's shift back to here. I don't know where you're at on these chats.
I haven't read anything yet. So
well, that makes it really easy then.
But I see the CMU is here. A lot of people are wondering what the CMU is. CMU is a Cobra Cast meme. That's the Cobra meme unit, and MCU fan getting trolled once again, as always.
James Norman, member for 2 months. Can you guys start recognizing Kevin Conroy when talking about Batman? He was the definitive Batman for all time. Only kill was Superman in CW's Crisis.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of universally accepted. We tend to, when we talk about the Batman, though, it's just the live action ones. But I mean, Kevin Conroy, everybody knows he's the definitive Batman, especially from even like, I mean, he's the voice in the Arkham games, which I think are some of the best Batman experiences you'll ever have. You know what I mean? Obviously, the animated series, everything like that. So yeah, everybody knows he's a legend for sure.
Mikey Gussler, remember for 2 months, did John Campea have a recent meltdown? Why, man? I'm gonna fucking like ban John Campea's name on this just because so many fucking super chats all the time.
Never.
God.
We like super chats and we like it when they super chat about John Campea. So
did John Campea have a recent meltdown? I saw Flash mention his live stream, but I didn't show up on time to hear what he had to say.
Yes.
Apparently, he got really upset about the backlash to a race swap casting for Astrid in How to Train Your Dragon. And he basically said, if you have any problem with it, you're a cousin humping man, baby, like whatever, and that you come all over your own face while screaming woke. And he said, I want to purge 30,000 subscribers from my chat, something like that. I fucking know.
It was a weird video, man. It's a weird video. It makes no sense, man. What's wrong with that guy?
He's like, if they cast a left-handed person, no one would say anything.
Yeah. It makes no sense. It's such a weird rant, dude.
It's also weird because like in there he mentioned something about, oh, if it was a tall actress and it got cast as a short person, no one would say anything. It's like, that's not true at all.
No.
Like, you remember the Hugh Jackman casting?
He claimed in the video Hugh Jackman didn't get any criticism. That's a fucking lie.
Yeah, there's a ton of it. Like
again, when Hugh Jackman was cast, I was back in what, 2000? Wolverine had never been more popular than he was at that point in time in terms of the comics and the animated
series and everything. Yeah.
He was so popular. And Wolverine, I don't know, what's Wolverine, like 5'4" or something in the comics? He's short and stocky. And Hugh Jackman was this kind of tall, slender guy, you know, and there was a ton of criticism about Hugh Jackman's Wolverine when he was cast. A ton. And for anybody to say that there wasn't is just a liar, a straight up liar. And as I said, dude, the most criticism I've ever heard from any casting in any superhero movie is Ben Affleck's Batman. That's the most hate I've ever heard. That was more than Heath Ledger, and probably because Ben Affleck's a bigger name than Heath Ledger, you know what I mean? But Ben Affleck faced the most hate I've ever seen. Is it because he's white? No, it's because he's famous and people had already known who he was, and they were just like, there's a terrible casting. Now, I think that after the fact, almost everyone that hated on it actually ended up liking it and loving Ben Affleck's Batman. Shockingly enough, I like the casting and I ended up not liking Ben Affleck's Batman, but that's neither here nor there. Most people ended up enjoying him, but the backlash was there. It's not specific to race or gender or all that. It's based on so many other factors, and it's very disingenuous to say that from him. Very.
Yeah, but like if you change anything about a character, people are going to have an issue with it. People that care about the character. Yep. It could be their accent, right? If a character has a certain accent and you change their accent, people will have a problem with that, because the reason people care about whatever they're being cast for is because they care about that character.
Right.
So when you change anything, it doesn't matter whether it's race, it doesn't matter whether it's height, it doesn't matter whether it's body type. Like say, all right, if you cast, instead of Henry Cavill, if they cast some like big fat motherfucker from like My 600-Pound Life as Superman, like even if it was the right height, the right skin color, the right eye color, the right hair color, even all of that, I think people would have a fucking problem with it because it's different from the character.
And he even brought up Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill faced his own criticism. There were concern. There was a whole campaign about like Superman not smiling. You know what I mean? Like, imagine being retarded enough to say that Henry Cavill never faced criticism. The Snyderverse faced a shit ton of criticism.
Every casting.
Every fucking casting.
Ironically, except for like Ray Fisher.
Yeah. Yeah, like Ezra Miller, Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
You
Gal
know,
Gadot faced a ton of criticism.
Yes. And I think someone mentioned it in the chat, which for me it wasn't a problem, but because I really didn't even know the history of it, but so when Tom Cruise was cast in Reacher, Jack Reacher, ton of criticism because of how short he was.
Yeah, like rightly so, because and what the Reacher series shows you with Alan Richardson, he is like the perfect guy to play Reacher because he looks very much like Reacher is described in the books. And that how big he is and how intimidating he is just when he walks in a room is like a really big important part of his character. So obviously what they were able to do with Tom Cruise is they show him in combat, they show him beating up all these guys, you show him how formidable he is, but it doesn't give off that immediate intimidation when someone walks into a room or immediate assumption of who this person is. And that's a problem. That was a problem for a lot of fans of the Jack Reacher novels. So it's across the board. Like these things are normal.
Yep.
The Beast, member for 4 months. Aloha, gentlemen. Took my family to the movies this weekend, and no one chose to see Blariel. Thank you for all you do and remain blessed. Thank you. Shirogami for 2. Little Mermaid's total Chinese ticket sales, 199.
199.
Yeah. Not doing great. Lady Pitbull becomes a channel member. Sir Boy of Lard, member for a month, says hail to 199. Bethesda's Lore Master, member for 4 months, says hail to the chat. Jeremy Ryan, 199, and CMU, which is founded by the one and only #1 fan of Geeks and Gamers, MCU fan.
Oh, man.
A Beru for 5. Got my shirt this weekend. It's nice.
Nice.
Powerfully Weenus for 5. Fitted hats. Jeremy, fitted hats. I will buy 2 or 3.
Okay, noted. I'll talk to Suresh.
Fitted hats that's tough though. I mean,
yeah,
because
I don't wear fitted hats, but
yeah, because the amount of stock you'd have to have is that might be tough. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for 5. The Carl Urban Dread film did terribly because of poor marketing and the taste of Sly's Dread still in our mouths. If they did Dread 2, big box office.
I love Dread, by the way. That was so good. Sadly, it didn't make money. I will say, feel free to send 221B like requests as to what you would like to see over there from Geeks Gamers or D-Day Cobra merch. It really comes down to we would do a pre-order campaign for whatever we were to launch. That way, I don't have to spend the money to buy up all this inventory and then get hung with stuff, so we would do like a 2-week run on whatever. So feel free to voice what you'd like to see so they can have it documented.
I fucking lost my damn tab. Taker for $2. I'm not subscribed to GMG. I'm affiliated with GMG.
Affiliated, baby. Let's go.
Junkyard Doodle, member for a month. Hail to 199. Saw Raiders of the Lost Ark for the first time in theaters yesterday. It was an amazing experience. What? Gonna go again on Wednesday.
Where at?
Chat, love the Daily Show. I did hear they're doing a couple showings of that. I would really like to see that.
That would be amazing to watch it in theaters again.
I would really like to see that in theaters.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Brennan Bellman for 199. What do y'all think of Zack Snyder's Watchmen? I really like it. Ended a little hit or miss, but I really like it.
It's his best movie. I think it's fantastic. I think it's phenomenal. I love Zack Snyder's Watchmen.
For the Emperor for $4.99. Hail, I'm watching while fighting off a bad case of the flu. I was hospitalized for a day and got home at 6 a.m. 199 still represented. What? I heard the flu didn't exist anymore. That can't be true. What? No, sorry about that for the Emperor. I'm glad you're feeling all right.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're feeling better. At least I assume you're feeling better because you're not in the hospital. Movie Times Today becomes a channel member. Thank you. Darth Jazzmag, member for a month. I'm here for Geeks and Gamers and Rocky Knob Outpost. Keep up the great chat and entertainment. You deserve it. 199. Haven't heard that. That's the name I haven't heard. Long time. Thomas Smith, member for 4 months. Y'all see the Xbox drop the Pride logo? Like they took it down after backlash?
Yes. After 4 days. 3 or 4 days, they changed it.
Maybe we're making progress. We're dropping it down to Pride Week. Soon it'll just be Pride Day. Nerds and Normies for 5. God damn it. I got to Campy again. Go to his open mic video from June 2nd. It's at the 48-minute, 33-second mark. Thank you, Nerds and Normies. AOC's Salt Block for the gift membership. Thank you. Brimlin Anku for 20, rocking my 221B 199 Snake Pit Tea at my MC's annual hog roast. Got a lot of people ordering it now, all saying it was sharp.
Nice.
There you go. That's cool.
I gotta look this up. So, what was it? What was the Open mic
from June 2nd, 48 minute, 33 seconds. Clear side over on Rumble, as be like, I was gay. I'm gay no more. It's Yorkshire speech. I love women now. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Clear Sight. Thank you, Clear Sight. And I'm gonna pull up. I want to talk about this as soon as you find that, Jeremy.
Okay, you go ahead. You pull that up. We'll look at it later.
Okay, perfect. Just make sure I got all the tabs here. I do, of course, have all the tabs. Why wouldn't I? But I wanted to talk just about what we talked about earlier. The hypocrisy, not hypocrisy, I guess, but the explanation for Little Mermaid's failure doesn't quite seem to make sense. We heard it for months in the lead up to the Little Mermaid. Disney, the mainstream media, everybody was doing their best to run defense for the Little Mermaid, to try to set it up like, hey, if this fails, we know why. It's because of all these racists out there. Well, when the reviews started to come out, we saw that happen. The very first weekend, this is the headline, Little Mermaid splashes to 164 million global bow, but there's something fishy overseas as Disney pick beset by review bombing. It got to the point where IMDb changed their rating system because there was too many bad reviews. They blamed it on toxic trolls. They blamed it on racists who didn't like black people. It was even described as ratings terrorism. That's what they called it. Ratings terrorism if you don't like something. We knew that they were going to use this, that you're going to use diversity as a shield for any criticism. And here we are. But now there's something that doesn't make sense. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, haven't seen it, can't tell you how good it is, but it's doing pretty well at the box office. But it's also doing really well when you look at the reviews. Over on Rotten Tomatoes, 96% verified, 95% all audience score. That's weird, Jeremy, because we were told that the reason that the all audience score is so bad here is just because of racists. Because racists came out, they review bombed The Little Mermaid because it had a black person in it. Well, maybe that's just Rotten Tomatoes. What about Metacritic? Metacritic, where Little Mermaid, if they could actually show me, Little Mermaid has a 2.2 user score on Metacritic because of all these supposed racists and people that just hate black people. Yet somehow, Across the Spider-Verse is an 8.5. Please tell me, Jeremy, how did the mainstream media supposed to spin this one?
Make no mistake, being a fan is a detriment to you in the eyes of the mainstream. Fans are constantly under attack from these outlets, from the powers that be. And again, the first time we really saw this all fall apart and break down right before our very eyes was The Last Jedi. It's what really moved me in the direction of where I went back in 2017, 2018, where I saw that they released a film that didn't go over well with the fans. And as I said many times, when it comes down to it, I can accept a bad movie and move on. What I can't accept is you blaming the fans for your mistakes. And that's what we have seen time and time again. They have consistently blamed the fans when they make bad films. They don't want to take any responsibility whatsoever. And you being passionate about these things, you caring about these things, you being into these things for all of these years, it's a negative in the eyes of places like Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm hates Star Wars fans. They hate that you care about these things. They hate that you have nostalgia for it. They despise it. And we're seeing the same exact thing with this right here. They hate the fact that people love the 1989 Little Mermaid movie. They hate it. They love the fact that they can market off of an iconic film and an iconic character that has this following, but they hate the fact that you hold them to a standard because they think they know what's best for you. And people, again, are finally seeing through this. How obvious is it when you have the Little Mermaid that is being criticized widely, rightfully so, and then they say it's just because of racism. Very next week, Into the Spider-Verse comes out with Miles Morales, and everybody loves it. People are finally realizing what's going on here, and they're weaponizing your fandom against you. And that's what we're tired of.
I guess the orders didn't go out. We ran out of racism. You only get one racism a month, maybe. There's a certain limit. I don't know what's going on. But you would think that if people were just so racist, if that was the reason that it was getting review bombed because of racism, you would think that they'd have that same energy just a couple days later for the Miles Morales movie. but apparently not. So I don't know what the next excuse is from the mainstream media, but I'm sure they're working on it right now.
Well, I just wish I could. I wish I could be in a conversation with some of these media people that say this, and whenever they talk about racist, Russian bots, troll bombing, and I'm like, where were they at for? And name any other fucking movie that you could destroy their examples on. I would love to ask them, where are the racists at? Where are they? Where are they?
Same thing for like the Wakanda Forever trailer, right?
Yep.
Like when we get told the Little Mermaid trailer reaction is because of racists. There's a lot of fucking black people in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I don't know if you noticed, but like where was the mass dislikes for that? And it just doesn't make any sense. It's about, right, when you take something like the Little Mermaid, people are upset, one, because it's another Disney live action remake and they kind of feel like it's a cheap money grab for them and that they're soulless and it takes away a lot of what made the original one so special. It looks like absolute dog shit. The CGI looks terrible. The colors look terrible. And there's obviously identity politics at play, not just when it comes to the race swapping of a character, but also when it comes to what they decided to do to change the story, to change the lyrics that people love, to change the way that it ends so that she's the one that kills Ursula instead of Eric. And like there are a lot of things that play into it. And the mainstream media taking a big L when it comes to that one.
100%. Also in the pinned post from Ruthie, you can go over to Meta PCs and you can check out their website and check out everything they have to offer. And if you're interested in a Meta PCs, you can use the promo code 199 or Geeks, but 199 is the one we want you to use moving forward if you're interested. But use that promo code 199 and get you a discount, and it gives us credit, and we appreciate it. We appreciate the support from Meta PCs, and I think we sold a few more this weekend. So thank you guys for all the support, and I really do appreciate it. And shout out to Meta PCs for supporting us, as always. Means the world to us, and thank you guys for supporting them.
That's right. Zero Cool for 2. Ryan has a cat named Ball Sack, not Vagina. Thank you. It's a picture of me as a cat. Hell Rats for $10. I'm curious, what morbidly obese actors Disney will choose for the live action Wall-E? That would be funny, actually. Lizzo, obviously.
Hang on, I got it right.
They'll race and gender swap the captain. It'll be Lizzo. How much you want to bet? Yeah. God damn it.
Here we go.
Nerds and Normies writes, I hunted for Tobey Maguire's feet. What is that? Well, I don't know what that means.
All right. What's
Tobey
next?
Maguire's what? Feet?
See, this is what Jeremy has, right? Jeremy doesn't have to read any super chats anymore. I just read them. So I get to read all that.
I read them all on CobraCast. Go fuck
That's
yourself.
True. Let's see. Where is this? Nerds and Normies for 5. Jeremy, don't forget 1989 Batman. Warner Brothers got a lot of angry letters over Michael Keaton casting. Imagine if the internet existed back then.
That is 100% true. Michael Keaton was widely criticized as Batman. Widely. And that was before Batman had this passionate following. You know what I mean? Like, he had a big following, but like Batman, again, for those that weren't around for Batman 89, man, Batman 89 was crazy. It was wild how much hype around that there was. But Michael Keaton got a lot of criticism at that time.
Jeremy's non-existent eyebrows for 5. I'm shocked The Little Mermaid isn't popular. That Scuttlebutt song was so fire, it seared us off Jeremy's face.
Dude, Campia the other day said Ron. He was trying to say Ron Burgundy, and he said Ron Jeremy on accident. And he was and they were all laughing about it or whatever. Okay, later on in that show, an account said Ron Jeremy is John Campia's favorite actor or something like that. Campia ignored the $10 super chat because of the name, because of the meme. He wouldn't even read the fucking super chat because somebody memed on him. I'm like, oh my God. Like, imagine if we were like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I wouldn't be able to read a lot of super chats.
I know.
But yeah,
fucking unbelievable.
This is just going to be turning the Campy Exposed channel, I guess.
Let's fucking do it.
Hercules for 199. John Campy is the biggest hypocrite. Thank you. Tinsote 199. Six Flags has gone full Bud Light. Yeah, I saw them.
What?
Actually, I retweeted.
What happened?
It was actually, this is really fucking funny. I retweeted it randomly. Where is it? Ah, here it is. Oh, they fucking deleted it. No.
There's got to be screenshots of it.
So Six Flags Over Texas. Six Flags Over Texas did like, hey, here's a fucking drag queen, blah, 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 pride bullshit, right? It's in Texas. Didn't get received very well. I just went to this because somebody responded to them and said, will you be selling Bud Light too? And they responded to that. And this is why fucking, hi, we recommend checking the Six Flags website page on restaurants and dining. You'll see a menu of food and drinks restaurants will be selling. But they deleted the original post. So they must have got so much backlash. They just straight up fucking deleted it.
Here's a Fox News article. Says Six Flags amusement parks hosting Pride Month drag shows for all ages. Assures guests they're PG-13. That's from Fox News.
Yeah. So they deleted this fucking tweet. They had limited replies and everything, but it must have been so bad they just fucking deleted it.
Wow.
But I just thought because somebody just fucking started, will you be selling Bud Light too? Just memeing on them. And they fucking replied. They're like, we recommend checking out Six Flags and letting it. Right.
Memeing will always, that's the way of the future. Memeing. I mean, again, not to get too political, but like 2016, like Trump really benefited from memeing. You know what I mean? Like there was a massive benefit from the meme wars. You know what I mean? Memes are their way to go. And so yeah, just like the Bud Light thing, and then these tone deaf people that are running the account have no idea what's actually going on. I love it. Disco Cobra for 50. Gotta find it. Here we go. So let's see. I believe I asked before on past streams, but I want to refresh your course. What styles of music do you two listen to? Random fact: Metallica Saint Anger turns 20 today. Good Lord, I'm old. Since I follow their socials, I tend to listen to 90s, 2000 era rock metal mostly. Great question, actually. I have a wide range of music that I listen to. I typically don't listen to anything current. I can't really name any current artists that I have any interest in, but growing up, I was a big fan of rap. Shockingly, I know, as the racist that I am, but Tupac was my favorite rapper. I loved Tupac. I was a big fan of Tupac. Obviously, Dre, Snoop, Rakim, Too Short, big rap fan. And then moved more into the rock and country side. Garth Brooks, George Strait, love those guys. Garth Brooks, one of my favorite artists of all time. I'm a big fan of Elton John. Aerosmith's one of my favorite bands. I loved Green Day back in the day. I hate them now. I despise them and their politics. But yeah, I mean, I'm all over the place on music. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm all over the place too. My Spotify seems like a fucking schizophrenic motherfucker. Whenever I like go through like my liked stuff, I would say mid 2000s. If there was a rap song or hip hop song on the radio, I probably could sing the entire thing to you. I had a G Unit chain in high school, and
did you really?
I did, yeah. And it was fake, so it like turned green and shit. But yeah,
that's awesome.
I had a G Unit fucking spinning chain.
Oh my gosh, man!
Oh, dude, it was fucking awesome.
That is crazy.
But, I mean, even like 60s, like Beatles, stuff like that. Then classic rock I'm into through the 70s and 80s era. I wasn't like super big into a lot of 90s music when it was coming out, but now more recently I'm into it. I like country. I used to not like country at all, but then when I moved and I lived in South Carolina and every fucking single radio station was fucking country, I eventually just listened to it and started liking it. Now I really like country music.
Oh yeah.
What else?
Yeah, country, man. Garth and George Strait, but I mean, those. Obviously, Garth is the most popular country music star of all time. George Strait is essentially the king of country music. He's the heart and soul of country music. He's the guy, that everybody looks to as kind of the definitive one. But there's a lot of Kenny Chesney. I loved Kenny Chesney back in the day. Even Hank Jr. stuff is great. You know, Trace Atkins. I could just name off tons of country artists that I'm a fan of. And yeah, I mean, Elton John stuff was great back in the day. It's crazy you had a G Unit chain, dude. That is so fucking funny. Nobody on the internet would have thought that. Holy shit.
Yeah, man. I wish I could find like a picture.
That is so funny. You're gonna be memed to hell now with G Unit stuff.
Oh man, I was fucking super skinny white kid. Fucking, I was like 130, 135 pounds or something like that. In like my senior year of high school. Yeah, I had a G Unit chain. I was fucking into it, man. I loved it. Yeah. I told you, Kanye's first 2 albums are some of like my most favorite.
This is why the leftists are so fucking crazy. They basically, the perception of me and you from the leftists, we're the most racist people on the fucking planet, okay? And here we're finding out you were 100% like G Unit, G Unit chain, you're 50, stuff, the Kanye stuff back in the day. Me, like Tupac, I can still tell you, I hope I'm right about this. Tupac got shot in Vegas September 7th, 1996. Look it up, internet. See if I'm right. He got shot September 7th, 1996. He died, I think, September 13th. Tupac was born on June 16th, 1971. Look those up and tell me if I'm right. Look it up. Tell me if I'm right. That's how much I followed the hell out of Tupac, dude. I was a mega Tupac fan. So you got me and Ryan, but we're the most racist people on the planet, guys. So,
I didn't grow up in Gary. No. I didn't grow up in Gary. I'm like 25 minutes on the toll road away from Gary. Okay, I would have died there if I would have walked into Gary as a white dude with a cheap ass fake G Unit chain. I would have been fucking murdered in an instant. All right. That's not what happened.
Let's see. Somebody said I'm right about the birth, but the death was 13th. Yeah, I said the death was 13th. He was shot on the 7th. Then he was in a hospital like 6 days, and he died on the 13th, if I'm not mistaken.
Not according to the Vice President of the United States.
Yeah. Oh, and I 100% like the boy bands of like the NSYNC and Backstreet days. Fuck, I ain't apologizing for shit. All right, NSYNC and Backstreet Boys were both awesome. All right, no hate here.
Yeah,
Steph knows, right? Steph?
I know, yeah. Jeremy knows all the words to every single song.
Damn right.
He played them on the road trip, and he was singing along. Yeah, he absolutely loves boy bands.
Hell yeah, let's go. All right, thanks, Steph.
Yeah, it's like that type of music it's like fucking designed by AI, right?
Yellow
boy
Flash.
Band music.
Yellow Flash. Just because we like black music doesn't mean you have to say it's gross, okay?
Yeah, you fucking racist.
Go ahead,
Ryan. Yeah, boy band music I feel is like from an AI. Like I feel like 20 years ago there was actually this AI stuff that just spit out, hey, what's just like the most random catchy shit, right? And they just put a bunch of really fucking stereotypical looking, and every boy band had the same thing. They had all like the different guys, like the different personalities or whatever in them. I don't know. AI generated boy bands.
The chat has 100% turned on me after I said I like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. Come on, man. Who doesn't like the fucking I Want It That Way song? Don't act like you don't like that song.
Everybody yes. You're 100% right, Jeremy, that everybody, if you're out at a fucking like a place somewhere and that comes on, almost everybody is gonna fucking stop what they're doing and like sing the words to it. You know what I mean? It's that's just the reality. If you deny that, I don't believe you. I think you're lying. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to all the good people.
Chat is 100% turning on us.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Yeah. Tinsote, I've said that. I am not a banana for two. What are your worst fast food experiences? Let me count the ways. Probably that Taco Bell one was pretty rough. Fazoli's was pretty bad. A lot of mine are like recorded on internet history. So, AFK Bard for $20 says, good morning. I'm a little behind on the stream, but from my own experience, I raged over Daniel Radcliffe's casting. Fans are picky about that stuff. Casting used to mean actual casting. Keep up the great work. Man,
yes.
Daniel Radcliffe's eyes are a massive thing that people still talk about to this day. That's a problem. And it is a problem because I cannot tell you the number of times in the Harry Potter books where Harry's eyes are mentioned because he looks exactly like his father, but his eyes are from his mother. He has the eyes of his mother. So when people like Snape look into his eyes, he sees like the person that he was desperately in love with, right? Like that's a big part of that person and like who they are and how they're described. So when Daniel Radcliffe came along, didn't have the same color eyes. That's all it took. It was a massive deal. And they tried to use contacts, but he had a bad reaction to it. It didn't work. So they just said, fuck it. And left his eyes normal. That's something that people want fixed in this new Harry Potter series.
Truck driving gamer dropped 10 gifted memberships. We're up to 15 new members on the stream. You guys know we love our members around here. And it's amazing how many new memberships we have. Also, Steph did send me a screenshot of this. So here we go. There it is right there. So celebrate Pride at Six Flags over Texas with a drag show. Performances are Fridays and Saturdays in June at the stage in Gotham City. For more information, check website, hashtag my Six Flags, hashtag my Six Flags over Texas. And there you have it.
Yeah, they deleted it.
Sick fucks.
They deleted it. Let's see. Chris B for 2. Big news media is dying and they keep lashing out. They are. Lucario for 5. So how many fights are we now at from families in the Little Mermaid showing? I've lost count. Travis World, member for a month. Has Melissa McCarthy been in anything successful? That's a good question, actually.
I wasn't so prior to 2016 Ghostbusters, wasn't she like the Paul Feig comedies that she was in? Weren't those relatively successful for the budget and everything they were considered? I think those were successful. It's then after the 2016 Ghostbusters, I think that she's not. I can't recall anything. Bridesmaids, okay, Bridesmaids, yeah, because that was Paul Feig, right? Paul Feig was Bridesmaids, right?
I think so, yeah.
Pretty sure that was a successful movie. And there was another one with her in it with Paul Feig as the director too. And I'm trying to remember what that one was.
Fuck.
Right. That's one of those times you wish you could have fucking went off camera.
I wish I could have got soon enough.
The Heat Spy was, so those were prior to 2016, prior to Identity Politics. I'm pretty sure both of those, quite a few of those, a couple of those Paul Feig, Melissa McCarthy movies were successful.
I feel like comedies aren't a thing anymore.
Yeah, because you can't be fucking funny.
Yeah, like what's the most recent comedy movie you remember being released? Bros comes to mind.
I honestly, I do remember the Clerks 3 came out and I didn't even watch it. And I'm such a fan of Kevin Smith's movies. I'm such a fan of his, especially Clerks. Clerks 1 and 2, I love. And I have not seen the more recent Clerks movie.
Yeah, like I feel like I used to remember a million different comedies coming out every year. And I don't feel like there's a ton of comedies that are being released nowadays. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I just haven't been paying attention. Maybe I haven't looked, but
I'm waiting for the chat to tell me a more recent comedy that I don't
like. I guess Barbie technically is going to be a comedy, you know? I think that's what they're going for there. But I just mean like shit like every fucking Will Ferrell movie that released in the last 20 years.
Yeah, like Step Brothers. You know?
Yeah, stuff like Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, whatever.
Wedding Crashers, shit like
Wedding
that,
Crashers,
you know?
just
Dodgeball,
Dodgeball, Hangover, stuff like that.
Aren't they making a new Dodgeball?
I heard they are. Yeah.
Oh,
Ben Stiller.
No. There's no way that's going to be bad if they do that.
Hey, Cocaine Bear. There you go. Cocaine Bear. That's a fair one. That was a comedy. It wasn't funny, but it was a comedy. That was one. The Machine. You're right. The Machine is out with Mark Hamill. That's a comedy movie. You know, I guess that one with Robert De Niro is a comedy too. That thing fucking flopped. That is bad box office news for that movie.
Well, I guess the more question would be like a relevant comedies. It's like, because I mean, you go back to like this Super Bad, shit like that, Pineapple Express, 40-Year-Old Virgin. Those are all really funny. You know what I mean? But yeah,
yeah, About My Father. Yeah, that's the one that just fucking flopped apparently. The Meg 2. Well, the Meg 2 kind of looks like a comedy. I don't think the Meg was a comedy. That wasn't a comedy. That was a fucking action adventure monster movie or whatever.
And I enjoyed the first Meg movie. I'm looking forward to Meg Part 2.
Okay. All right, where the fuck was I? Lost my spot. Sandstorm renews her channel membership. Thank you, Sandstorm. Automated Showman for 10. They'll probably switch from blaming racism to misogyny for Little Mermaid, except they're the ones who said it was meant for young black girls. Yeah, exactly. Fictitious Dave Savage for 2. Remember the black girl mad Ariel isn't white? I do remember that. Brennan Bellman for 5. The Can't Be a Gulp compilation is the best thing ever. Don't know what that is. The Gilk Man for 10. Much love to both of you. Keep being amazing. Struggling a fair amount, but I'm off to the gym for my lifting class. Hey, good luck at the gym, Thomas. Fucking crush it, man. Sandstorm member for 2 months, just got my Snake Pit Battalion tee over the weekend. Wore it to the gym this morning. Hell yes. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Center Negative for 5. Calling it now. The blame Little Mermaid's failure on the latest woke buzzword, misogynoir. The hate of black women specifically. Yeah, it's always something.
What the hell?
You haven't heard that before?
No.
Yeah. Hercules for 199. This is Jeremy's favorite picture. It's a picture of pixelated me.
Oh, yeah, that is my favorite. I love that picture of Ryan. Such a fantastic picture. Real quick, do you have your FNT plushie with you? So this Friday, they are going on sale, ladies and gentlemen. Geeks and Gamers plushies. Friday Night Tights edition right here. Or should it be Friday Night Tights edition, Geeks and Gamers? Whatever. So this Friday, FNT, if you want to pre-order your plushie, it's going to be happening. You got the RK Outpost. You got the D-Day Cobra right here. So we need to see some awesome numbers. Gary and Az sold a shit ton. I don't know if me and Ryan can sell as many as they did, but we're going to try. So we're going to try.
Know. The way I'm selling it is, listen, I don't know who the fuck wants this, but even if you want it to like defile it in a certain way, even if you want it to, you can draw something on my head. You can play tic-tac-toe on my forehead like a lot of you guys have wanted to for a long time. You can fucking drill a hole in its ass for your tiny little cock. I don't care what you do with it. Just buy it, all right? They're going to be up there Friday. FNT plushies going live. So that'll be fun.
There we go. This Friday. It's going to be awesome.
Let's see. Ryan's plushie looks like Drinker. Well, we're both white dudes that have beards, similar hair, so that's what it is. DM for 199. Jeremy won't admit he's Baby Metal's biggest fan.
I don't know. Is that what the Asian chicks do, like the lip syncing or whatever?
I don't know.
I think that's what that is. I don't know.
There will be a bundle, so there'll be it'd be like a 5 or 10% discount or something if you buy 2 of them. If you buy 3 of them, it'll be like 15. If you buy all 4 of them, it'd be like 20, something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's a bundle option because it'll be mine, Jeremy's, Odin's, and Comics is all go available at the same time. I'll have it for the same run. So
yep. It's not lip syncing. Okay, I don't know. I thought they were like lip syncing.
Tensote for 199. Did you listen to Bowling for Soup back then?
They had like a couple songs I remember, but nothing. I didn't like. I wasn't a fan of the band. I just remember a couple of their songs on the radio.
Nick Brome for 199 says G Unit. That's right. Truck Driving Gamer becomes a channel member. Chris B for 2. Ryan, look up the mashup album Q Unit. It's great. Chris, I had the Q Unit CD that somebody burned for me. Okay. It is a mashup of G Unit and Queen. And it's really fucking good. You just got to hear it. Mike has bad.
We got a picture of Ryan back in the day with his G Unit chain. There we go. That's how Ryan was dressing back in the day.
I didn't wear a hat like that though. I didn't wear a hat like that.
Oh, it's so funny. It's funny.
I'll have to go back and look. I know I can find a picture of me somewhere. 'Cause I wore it a lot, and I wore it on the outside. Obviously, that's the only way you can wear it. Fucking G-Unit spinner, and I hid it from my parents. Right, like they didn't know I had it.
Yeah. Do you remember? Do you remember cassette tapes?
Yeah.
So like cassette tapes, if if you took two little pieces of paper and balled them up and put them in the top holes of the cassette tape, you could dub over portions of the tape. Like if you hit record and play at the same time. So when I got Snoop Dogg Doggy Style, I was like scared to death my parents were gonna hear like all the fucking cussing. So I tried to like dub over all the cuss words. But the problem was it wasn't like a quick kind of like it like literally just took chunks of the fucking song out. So I ruined my Doggy Style tape. And I already thought I was going to get arrested when I went to go buy it because I was underage when I went to buy it. So I was scared that when I went in the store, you know what I mean? So I ruined it. I ruined my Doggy Style tape and I was so sad. I was like, shit. I just didn't want my mom to hear all the F-bombs. Oh, man. So funny.
Go. This is closer.
What do you got?
Bro, that's what it spun though. It did look like this, but it spun. It wasn't this big either. But, yeah. I got it at the county fair. I got it and the matching watch at the county fair. All right.
Oh man.
Mike has bad knees. Ask for that. Can we get visual confirmation of Wig Orion with the G-Unit chain? I'll try to find it. Truck Driving Gamer with 10 gift memberships. Thank you, Truck Driving Gamer. 10 memberships for $50. We appreciate that.
Hell yes.
Pilgrim Media for 2. I was staying at the Luxor when Tupac was shot.
Damn. That was crazy. It was after a Mike Tyson's fight too, man. So.
Jeremy's non-existent eyebrows for 5. Rap aficionados over here. 1 nizzle to the nizzle. Mozamboni for $5. Ryan, you heard this one? Quote, the only way to pass through Gary at night is as a bullet. Deletion, capital of the world, worst traffic ever. Hashtag Hoosier. Yeah, everyone knows don't go to Gary. Gremlin Anku for 10. Yo, MTV raps at 10 p.m. Headbangers Ball at 11. Enough said. U.S. music sucks now. I have a lot of Japanese metal bands at the moment, like Haninbe Maximum to the Hormone, but Epica is an all-time fave.
Dude, like back in the day, MTV, man, it used to mean something to like watch MTV and actually hear like their top 10 countdowns and all of that. Like I'll never forget, like what's crazy is Guns N' Roses November Rain was like #1 forever on MTV. And do you know what song dethroned it? You know what song it was? It was Pearl Jam's Jeremy. So I heard all my friends were like, man, it took you to dethrone Guns N' Roses. I far preferred Guns N' Roses over Pearl Jam. And I like Pearl Jam. I actually didn't like the song Jeremy when it was out because obviously just like everybody would reference this. After the fact, I appreciated the song. But I was actually mad when Pearl Jam's Jeremy dethroned Guns N' Roses November Rain. November Rain was huge. Like it was all like the song was already known, you know, Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. And then November Rain came out, was so hyped and it was so huge. I loved it so much. So I still love that song. Still love it.
Powerfully Weenus for 5. Jeremy, at least you didn't look like one of the people that were on Backstreet Boys. That's the treatment I got. The guy with the bushy eyebrows. Ooh.
Bushy eyebrows. I don't know.
Borg for 10. I work at Six Flags here in SoCal. Haven't seen or heard anything about drag shows. Can't believe it's happening in Texas of all places.
I know.
Heard Universal's is having an all-age gay night. Yikes. Yeah, Universal's LA is, as well as Disney LA. That's what we heard. Subhuman with 5 gift memberships. Thank you, Subhuman. Ellie Reen for 10. Lincoln Park is the GOAT.
I like Lincoln Park.
Bill Sotheby, member for 17 months. You guys like boy bands? That's super F-slurry. I'm taking my membership and leaving. Bye, bye, bye. Yeah. There you go. Hey, if there's anyone that's actually going to use the F-slur on Geeks and Gamers, it's gonna be me. Bashy Washy member for 17 months. It's okay, Jeremy. I'm totally cool with, or totally with you with your love of NSYNC and Bare Backstreet Boys. Also, oops, I did it again. Also, Majors, Hit Me Baby One More Time.
That's right.
A lot of Britney Spears puns there. Pat's Trick for 5. Who is John Campia? Don't worry about it. Johnny's member for 10 months. Rom-coms are complete dog shit nowadays. Sir Hat for 2. I consider Bullet Train a comedy, and it was great. There you go. Michael King for 5. CMX Theater Gulf Shores has Top Gun 1986 on the 18th of this month. Also, original Footloose and Flashdance this month. Flashdance. That's cool. Stephen Wasik for 10. As a 90s kid, you couldn't turn on the radio without hearing NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. Also, Jeremy, you left out 2 greats of country music, Alan Jackson and Lone Star.
Alan Jackson and Lone Star are both awesome.
Ozma for 10. Drag show thing still up on Six Flags. There is a disclaimer saying you have to be 18. That's something. I grew up in Arlington and spent many middle school summers at Six Flags. Yeah, I've been to Six Flags, Texas. That's the one that has the Batman ride, right?
They have Batman in Georgia too, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure they have Batman in Georgia. Six Flags, like Six Flags. I've only been to Six Flags in Georgia, and it always felt like, you know, it always felt like the Dollar General for, you know, theme parks for me. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I was surprised that wasn't like your go-to when you were growing up.
No. State Fair. That was my
State
go-to.
Fair, bro. County Fair was mine. So, well, the county fair that I went to was like the 3rd biggest one in the country at the time. So it was massive for a county fair. You know what I mean? It was like a huge thing in that town. The Blue Futon for 5. Comedies released this summer: The Blackening, No Hard Feelings, Joyride, Strays, and Everybody. This is a transgender movie, so it must be. Bros equals shit. The Blackening actually looks like it might be kind of funny. No Hard Feelings, is that the Jennifer Lawrence one? I don't know what Joyride or Strays. Strays is the dog one.
Joyride movie? Joyride was Paul Walker, right?
This is comedies released this summer.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Okay. I don't know what those are. I don't know what any of those are.
Hercules for 199. My new avatar pick is absolutely amazing. It's the thing I just showed with the G unit, Shane.
Oh, okay.
All right. Matt HTX for 10. Say Bill O'Reilly's famous line. We'll do it live. This thing sucks. Fuck it. We'll do it live. All right. Jimbo for 2. Ryan used up his 16% African ancestry all at once. If it's 16, I'll freak the fuck out. I'm assuming like 2% African. Her in the Steadfast for 220. I wasn't allowed to listen to Eminem in the house. Buck's Basement for 2. Have you guys seen Spider-Verse? Thoughts? Haven't seen it.
Ryan tried, fell asleep. It's not. I don't think it was about the movie as much as it's just he just got too much going on.
I think I got cancer or something. Honestly, I'm super tired all the time and shit. So I can't stay awake in a fucking to watch a movie anymore. I fell asleep for Fast X as well.
And I understand I understand me saying that as a YouTuber is going to sound like cringe to the majority of people, but Ryan is working too hard. Like, he makes too many fucking videos. He is on a grind beyond belief. Like, that's what happened to me, though. I got burnt out. That's why I stopped making videos so much. So I went through my phase where I used to make as many videos as you, and I'm constantly grinding, you know, getting, 10 million views a month on Geeks and Gamers. And then, I stopped live streaming, and I focused even more, on videos. And then I stopped making videos and I focused on live streaming. Now I'm trying to balance both of them, but it is a balancing act. So, but it's mentally exhausting to stay in touch with all of this garbage that Hollywood is giving us. It's mentally exhausting at some point.
And sports. So,
yes. Yeah. You're crushing on Sports Wars too. You just need to play some fucking video games with me and relax. You just need to play some fucking Call of Duty and some fucking Fortnite. That's all you need to do.
Do you think, just like, this is a serious question. Do you think that sounds enjoyable to me?
It will be therapeutic for you, I promise.
Guys, I already have to play video games today for fucking Mario Kart on this on this fucking channel.
Fucking stream on RK Outpost a game All right. Your perspective. Play Call of Duty with me. Next time I go live on fucking D-Day Cobra, I'll play from my perspective. Call of Duty, you play from yours. I promise you, you'll get super chats and gifted memberships. You make it members only after the fact, and you'll be fucking happy.
We'll see. We'll see. Her in the stead. I said that one. Matt HTX for 5. I hunted Rob. I hunted for Tobey Maguire's dick. Cardinal for 2. G&G unit. There you go. I like that. Scaly William for 5. About to go into work. Appreciate the entertainment, boys. Hey, thank you, Scaly.
Yes, Sophie. Ryan is on Mario Kart tonight because of Ben Giles. Ben Giles, we missed a $500 super chat on Rumble, a Rumble rant. But because of Ben Giles, shout out to Ben Giles, Ryan is back on Mario Kart tonight. And he is very excited. He's very, very excited.
It's going to be really relaxing. Sophie for 5. Jeremy and Ryan, we are not gay. We're very masculine. Also, Jeremy and Ryan, plushies drop on Friday. We'll definitely buy. Hell to 199. Let's see. Where am I? Centenario for 2. John Campia likes cock. Thanks. Caretaker Studios for 5. What are your hopes for the Ahsoka series? I hope that before it comes out, like there's a fire somewhere at Lucasfilm and no one gets injured, but every single shot of the Ahsoka series goes up in flames and they have to cancel it. That's my hope.
I will not be watching the Ahsoka series. I will not be watching anything Disney Star Wars. I have zero faith that it can ever be fixed. I'm just done. I'm completely checked out. So I can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. Sports fans will know that one. That's about it. Mike
Jesus Davila for 5. Jeremy, do you ever see the parody songs for Backstreet Boys from the Merkins YouTube channel?
For the what YouTube channel?
Merkins. I don't think so. Darian Murphy for 199. Ryan, you might have sleep apnea. No, I don't think so. I might, if you're going to argue, I might have narcolepsy, if you're going to say that, but I don't think that either. I'm just tired. Let's see. The Exalted Patriarch for 5. Happy Kofefe Day. Despite the negative press, Kofefe was 6 years ago. Hail God Emperor Trump in the 199. Thank you. MCU fan for $2. Racism is tiring, apparently. Taker for 5. When Lance Bass came out, there were jokes like Lance was secretly a Backstreet Boy the whole time. Late 90s, 2000s was a hell of a time for music. Eddie Brock for 2. You fell asleep on Brie while watching Fast X? Yeah, I know. It was embarrassing.
Dang, Ryan, that's bad.
Kamar Daniel, member for month. Street Fighter 6 will take the stress away, Ryan. Yeah, I'm sure. Fan Guy for $10. Lily Rose Depp was on fire in The Idol. Was fired in The Idol on HBO last night with The Weeknd. Was fire. Lily Rose Depp was fire. Okay. Thank you. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for 5. Personally, not a fan of John Campia, but he did a really good job on his Transformers 2 review. Ryan will really like it.
I had to pull it up.
I don't remember what this is.
I had to pull it up.
Characters introduced in a movie that single-handedly ruin a film. And the twins did that. They are the new Jar Jar Binks. They are the most stereotypically racist characters I've seen on screen in a long time. You know, I was trying to explain the twins to somebody, and basically it's this. The twins are 2 hood niggas that talk.
Wait, what?
A long time. You know, I was trying to explain the twins to somebody, and basically it's this. The twins are 2 hood niggas that talk ridiculous jive, are illiterate, and I'm not making that up. They actually reveal that in the movie. They're
Bro, 2010, 2011 was wild on YouTube, man.
Holy shit.
God. My cum smells for 2. Ryan better rage tonight. Totally unhinged rage. Hernandez Professional Accounting, member for 10 months. My gender identity is 199. Zach Updegraff for 5. It's time for Ryan to buy his white New Balances, a lawnmower, and maybe pitted prunes. Yeah, getting old. Carlos Estrada for 2. I miss Killdozer Day. I'm very sad. Never forget. Chaos Hoy for 2. Ryan Kendall singing karaoke would be funny. I've done it before.
He has done it before.
Jimbo for 5. Ryan's been running on a plastic bottle whiskey and 2-week-old Taco Bell. Wonder why he feels bad. No, I've actually been eating pretty clean lately, to be honest with you. Ruben Christopher Haynes, member for 21 months. What's up, Ruben? Hail to G&G in the 199. Down from 650 pounds to 410.
Woo.
I will be for 199. 211 pounds to go. Focused on healing and beating Ryan in a race. G&G Daily is the GOAT. F.U. Jeremy. Hail to the snake pit and clamshells.
That's awesome, Ruben. That is awesome.
Darian Murphy for 199. When's the last time someone said jive? Don't know. Sophie for 6. Don't watch gaming streams because I get nauseous, but we'll try for Ryan. Thank you. Caretaker Studios for 5. What do you think of the KOTOR remake getting canceled? From what I can tell, it hasn't officially been canceled. It's officially still in the books, but they're having a lot of issues with it. I hope it's canceled. Fuck that. Never. Don't ever fucking remake that shit. If you want to do a remaster, that's great. Leave everything alone. Don't do a remake. We got to talk about one more thing. I put it in the fucking title. We haven't got to talk about it.
Disney layoffs.
Yes.
We are almost at 1,000 likes, so smash the melee button if you do not mind. Simple request from a simple man. And don't forget, tonight on CobraCast, relaunching due to popular demand, because we only had them available for 2 weeks, and it was advertised 2 weeks only. But because so many people missed out and so many people were requesting, the Snake Pit Battalion is back for 1 week only, the 199 Snake Pit Battalion. So be on the lookout for that tonight. Once they're done, though, I don't want to bring them back. So talk to Suresh about it. We're going to make them available for 1 more week. So you got to get them while they're hot. So tonight we'll relaunch those. And I know a lot of you have asked me about the hoodie. So I am getting the hoodies back in the store as well. The hoodie that I normally wear every day, the 221B, the Geeks Gamers flag shirt. So we're gonna bring those back as well. And again, let them know. Like, just send them emails and just say, hey, we're interested in this, and so, or maybe we can put a kind of survey out there for everybody that's ordered to kind of see what merch you're looking for, and willing to give you whatever you're willing to buy. So,
we got to talk a little bit about Disney. We've been talking about for the last year and a half, maybe even longer, about all the problems Disney's had. 2022 was a horrendous year for them. Box office was disappointing, streaming losing billions of dollars, and of course their stock price had its worst year in half a century, and it forced them into doing things they didn't want to do, like fire 7,000 people, and of course all the cuts they made to their content on Disney Plus, all these things. But among the 7,000 people fired, we just found this out a couple days ago, were some interesting names, specifically from Pixar. Now, we know that Pixar has been struggling, that Disney, Pixar, Disney Animation used to be at the top of the game, family-friendly entertainment. That is no longer the case. Universal's been destroying them. And one of the biggest box office disappointments and flops for them in recent memory was absolutely Lightyear. Well, it looks like some of the people involved with Lightyear are gone. Lightyear director and producer among Disney Pixar layoffs. Among the layoffs that took place at Walt Disney Company were job cuts at Pixar that included the director and producer of Lightyear, Deadline has confirmed. Now, 75 people were fired from Pixar. No, there has not been anyone fired there, any cutbacks, in almost a decade. That's how rarely it happens with their animation. But it happened for this. Director Angus MacLane, the 26-year animator who was part of the senior creative team, was cut from the studio in late May. And then Galen Sussman, who had been part of the studio since the original Toy Story was released, was also part of the cuts. She was a producer. Angus MacLane was the director of the Lightyear disaster. And now pretty much everywhere when it comes to Disney animation, they're having to make these cutbacks. They're having to evaluate, because honestly, it doesn't look like it's getting any better. The next Pixar movie that's coming out looks like it's also going to be a box office bomb. But we're talking about Pixar, Jeremy, where everything they came out with used to be a success. Everything they came out with was basically heralded as incredible. Now they're struggling, and it's just sad to see, to be honest.
It is sad to see, but it's also very satisfying to see when you see this right here. Remember, Chris Evans, homophobic Lightyear critics are idiots who will die off like dinosaurs. How'd that work out for you there, Chris Evans? You fucking piece of shit. You pathetic. You are not a movie star. Chris Evans is not a movie star. Again, it doesn't mean I can't, compliment the man when I think it's, when it's earned. He's phenomenal as Captain America. He's amazing. He's literally the definitive Captain America. He's not a movie star. Never was a movie star. Never gonna be a movie star. And you got what you deserved right here. When you go and trash people before a film comes out, and then that movie went on to lose money. So more wokeness, getting exactly what you deserve from that perspective. And so, yeah, with Pixar being in the position they're in, it is crazy because, again, Pixar used to actually matter. You know what else used to matter, Ryan? Star Wars. Star Wars used to matter. You know what else used to matter? The Marvel Cinematic Universe used to matter. When a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie was coming out, people actually cared. It actually carried respect and anticipation. Star Wars used to actually be special. Pixar movies actually used to be special. None of it means anything anymore. Nothing. Do you know what does matter now? A Tom Cruise movie matters. A Mario movie matters. You know why? What's the common theme with those couple of films right there? What is the common theme there? Respecting people, respecting the fans. Chris Pratt actually does appreciate the fans. Tom Cruise, as crazy as it is, does respect the fans. And the common theme with Pixar, Disney, MCU is that they're constantly disrespecting because they are agenda-driven storytelling. And they're just dying off like the dinosaurs are, Chris Evans. Pixar's dying off like dinosaurs. Fuck off, Chris Evans. They deserve it. They deserve it.
Yeah, and to see like heads roll that have been at the company a long time, to see heads roll that were involved with that failure. And obviously, it probably goes much bigger than just that, just the failure of Lightyear, all these other things that they were involved with. But like Pixar has lost, Disney has lost this animated crown, this family-friendly animation that they dominated for decades. They have lost out to Universal. Now going on 4 years, this will be the 4th straight year that they lose to Universal in terms of the box office numbers. And not just that, it'd be one thing if maybe they weren't putting out things out or they weren't doing great, but they just making money. This stuff's losing money. Elemental will be the next one to likely lose money for them. Mm-hmm. And they're making cuts all around because it's just not sustainable.
Yeah, and I mean, is there any Pixar or Disney animated film that's announced or development that we anticipate is going to be good or it's going to bring people in?
Two things. Bob Iger, pretty soon after he took back over, they made the announcement that Frozen 3 is in development and that Toy Story 5 is in development. So I guess you can look at those and how far are those along? No fucking idea, right?
Yeah.
Those just things to hype people up. Obviously, I would anticipate those to perform well whenever they happen.
Right. Yeah.
They're part of monster franchises, but I don't know.
But even I'm still shocked that Lightyear lost so much money. I'm so shocked. I mean, Buzz Lightyear is a really, really popular character coming off of the Toy Story franchise, which I do think it had a small step back, maybe even a big step back with Toy Story 4, because Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 are perfect movies. Perfect movies. I don't think 4, and maybe I've only seen it once. It may be worse than I remember. I don't like it, but I don't hate it either. I didn't find it to be overly offensive. I just don't feel like it feels like it belongs within the Toy Story franchise. 1, 2, and 3. And then this movie, the 4th one, just feels like it's way off on the side somewhere. But maybe I need to rewatch it. Maybe it is terrible, but it definitely is not memorable at all. And so 5, I don't know. I don't know what the anticipation will be for 5. I think Frozen 3 is definitely poised to do good for sure whenever that does come out.
What I think is wild is that like it used to be everything they did. It just seemed like it took over
everything.
Like not pre-existing not a sequel.
Inside
like
Out,
whatever, right?
Inside Out, you know?
Yeah, it was
Cars.
Just these original ideas that like Finding Nemo, things like that I just don't know how it's tough to generate. How are people feeling about a movie like Elemental compared to their hype level or interest level in something like Finding Nemo? I don't know. I don't know how to quantify that. I don't really remember when all that stuff was happening. But
word of mouth
seems like there's not faith when Pixar comes out with a movie anymore. That's what it seems like to me.
Yes. Well, I mean, word of mouth is a powerful thing, and something like Avatar, both of those movies really did live off of word of mouth. Even the second one came out didn't break any records opening weekend or anything, and it seemed to be performing below standards for the majority of it, but then it just word of mouth just kept carrying it, just like the first one. And that's how Pixar movies used to be. At least in the beginning, it was word of mouth, and then they built audience trust. So when a Pixar movie would come out, it wasn't even a matter of word of mouth. It was like audiences trusted Pixar. I don't know where that actually fell apart, what movie, where that fell apart, but it's clear that it's happened. And from a creative standpoint, we've talked about it many times, it was John Lasseter. John Lasseter was the creative force that kind of helped keep Pixar in the position they were in. And he got caught up in the Me Too thing and got fired over hugs, essentially. And so, yeah, it's not surprising. It's sad, but it's not surprising at all.
Gemstone for 2. I'm tweeting that to Campia. Sweet. Taker for 2. There was a Jay-Z reference in Banjo-Tooie on N64. Really?
Really?
Now, are you a big fan of the Banjo-Kazooie franchise, Jeremy?
Not really. I mean,
I know a couple of big Banjo-Kazooie fans out there. I was not super into Banjo-Kazooie, but I played Banjo-Tooie, and to me, it was a little bit of a step down from the original. But I don't remember any Jay-Z references in Banjo-Tooie. I'll have to ask, though.
I wasn't a big Banjo-Kazooie was it was basically hyped as like a Mario 64 clone in a lot of ways, from the gameplay standpoint and everything. I just, I was like, I'd rather just play Mario 64.
I mean, that's kind of what all of them were to some extent. It was like, hey, a collectathon and like do these, you know what I mean? For that, it was jigsaw puzzles, I think, right? Instead of stars.
Yeah.
But I mean, same thing for Donkey Kong 64. It's the same type of thing.
You know what hasn't aged well is the 64 though. 64 games have not aged well.
Yeah, it's because it was a transition period,
like Super Mario World and Super Nintendo games have aged far more, than far better than N64 games.
Yeah, I just think it's because that was like a very I don't want to say experimental, but it was like a transition point from these 2D games to these like true 3D experiences.
Yeah.
And before they really started perfecting that. I think that's kind of why it's like the first. Remember like Doom, how the first Doom looks, right? And how Star Wars obviously made a clone for Dark Forces, a Doom clone for Dark Forces. Kind of that, you know what I mean? It's like the first foray into it.
Yeah.
And you see how it develops.
Yeah.
Carlos Estrada for 2. Writer strikes are still delaying most productions. That's true. A lot of stuff is like that.
Mario Kart 64 still does hold up probably better than most N64 games. And also Wave Race. Wave Race is awesome. I love Wave Race. And then you have Wave Race Blue Storm on the GameCube, which was awesome. The Wave Race games were excellent. They're so good.
Hercules for 199. Toy Story 4 sucks. I agree. Big Worm for 5. Not gonna lie, I hope they alphabet up Toy Story and Frozen. Potato Head switches from a man to a woman to non-binary in a scene. Snowman uses they them. Would be lit. Let's do it. All right. We're all caught up.
We are caught up. So tonight, the return of the king of rage, Ryan Kennel, on Mario Kart tonight. I have to go buy him a new controller because I stole his Pro controller. Yay, I get to drop $70. Yay. Fucking Nintendo. Because I left my Pro controller in Pensacola. So I had to steal yours. So now I got to go buy you one. But luckily, Ben Giles, I think he covered it. I think he covered it and more. Okay. There was one Rumble rant. I don't know if you got that.
I already got it from Clearsight.
Okay. Yeah. So Ryan will be back from Mario Kart tonight. I know everybody's excited. And we have to talk him into playing some games with me. All right. So we're going to get him on Modern Warfare 2 and Fortnite. That's what we're going to do. He's going to have fun. And we're going to drop his stress levels. He's going to start sleep. He's going to start getting rest again at home so he can stop sleeping during movies because he's burning himself out. All right. That's what we're going to do, Ryan. We're here for you, Ryan. We are here for you. That make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside?
No, not particularly.
All right. So thank you guys so much. Again, Cobra Cast tonight after Mario Kart. We'll be launching those 199 t-shirts again, the Snake Pit Battalion shirts. Go to Meta PCs, check out their entire website, check out the landing page. The pinned post from Ruthie is right there. If you see anything you want, use that promo code 199, representing Geeks and Gamers. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you tonight. And I think I've got Odin's box office video from, I got it late last night. I'm going to launch it here as soon as this video is over. So be on the lookout for that. And Mario Kart tonight here on the main channel. We appreciate you guys. Have a great day. And we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.